Google is releasing a feature called Read It into Google Assistant, up and coming in a future release of Android, probably in the summer, which means that you're going to be able to open up a web page on your phone and just say, hey Google, read it, and then Google Assistant will read that web page out word for word in audio using text-to-speech. Why is that important? Well, one, it's going to include Google Translate, which means that your website can be translated on the fly to another language. That opens up the potential of people who can now consume your content. The second thing is that people don't have to have their phone in their hand and read anymore. That means that there is new opportunities for people to consume your content in environments where they couldn't previously, like right now, walking the dog, or not walking the dog, stopping for the dog to do his bizzo. We all know how important consumer attention is, and not everyone has their phone in their hand all day. So now you have an opportunity to capture more attention and create more opportunities for your content to be consumed. So here's a couple of tips that you might want to consider for optimizing your website to be read out loud. Number one, fairly obvious, write conversationally. Do things like use contractions, say can't instead of cannot. It helps the flow of the content. Don't use jargon, or if you have to use jargon, please explain the term that you're talking about before you use it or just after you use it, so that people can understand. People can't just right click and define terms when they're listening to an audio snippet. When you're writing, read it out loud to yourself and see how it sounds. Listen, that's someone's garden. Number two, credit sources in the body copy. Don't just hive off to a hyperlink behind some kind of anchor phrase. People are not going to be able to click on the hyperlink. So do credit the source that you link to and explain what it is that exists on the page that you're linking to. Number three, be concise and use the inverted pyramid style of writing. People tend to read about 20% of web content. We don't know how long people will listen to your article for, so cram the juicy bits and the main points at the top of the article and try and keep it concise. Don't go off-piste and start meandering, because people's attention spans when they're listening to audio drifts. There we go, 3 tips to optimize your website content to be read out loud by Google Assistant in the Read It feature that's up and coming in a couple of months' time. In fact, I don't even know if it's a couple of months' time. I don't know when it'll be, but it's coming.